G'day everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video we will be going through my round 23 tips for the 2022 AFL season, as well as that we'll be recapping last week to see how I did in my round 22 tips. It was a banging round for me in round 22, probably the highest score I've got in a hot minute, that's for sure. The season coming to an end, the last home and away round of tipping I'll be doing on the channel before we move on to the final series, so sad time seeing the season come to a close, but it happens every year, same feeling every year around, and I reckon it's going to be an absolute ripper final series ahead of us. So in round 22 I got a total of 7 out of 9 tips correct, and certainly well and truly could have got 9 out of 9. I was looking on track for a 9 out of 9 until the Sunday games came along. I tipped the Brizzy Lions to get up over the Saints at Marvel Stadium on the Friday night. I tipped them to get it done by 26 and just a comfortable, boring, easy cruisy win for the Brizzy Lions in Victoria. However, they got it done by 15 points with accuracy costing the Saints in, well, pretty much a game to keep their season alive, and they are well and truly out of it now. The Saints, I think they've got a 13% chance of making finals now. They're sitting 10th on the ladder, and they need a lot of results just to go in their favour, and they need a big thumping win in round 23 to be able to make the final series in 2022. However, the Lions, on the other hand, needed to get that win just to sort of steady the ship. They've been sort of a bit up and down lately, but sitting 4th on the ladder in the top 4, not comfortably. Seems like they've got Freo, Collingwood, and a few other teams that are competing for the top 4 as well. Then we moved on to the Saturday games. It was the Dogs and the Giants in a thriller at Marvel Stadium. It started off to be a very strange, slow start in Victoria at Marvel. However, the Dogs were just able to control the Giants' ball movement, and yeah, they were just moving the ball really well, and they were able to control the swing of the play. I'm pretty sure that's what led to the Dogs getting up by 5 points. Now, obviously not the most convincing of wins, betting a team by 5 points that are in the bottom 4, and competing for finals. It's just not really a good look for the Dogs, especially if they do make the final series. Competing in games like that, it's just not, I don't think they'll be going too far in the final series if they do make it. However, I did tip the Dogs, so that is another 2 in a row correct now. Then I tipped the Crows to get over the line against the Kangaroos. I did tip the Crows to get it done by a convincing 42-point margin at their home deck, versing the Kangaroos. I thought it's going to be an easy cruisy win, especially beating Carlton a few weeks back at Adelaide Oval. I reckon, it was going to be an easy, certain win for the Crows, and they were able to get it done by 29. Tipped them by 42, doesn't matter, nonetheless, still got the tip correct. Then we headed over to Metricon Stadium to see the Suns get absolutely obliterated by 60 points against the Cats. Tipped the Cats to get it done by 62, in which was a bit of a strange one. I feel like a few people would have tipped the Suns in a bit of an upset. The Suns haven't been too bad. This is probably their best year in history this year. But the Cats just cruising through the Suns, and I had a feeling that was just going to happen. A lot of high expectations for the Suns, but the Cats would just absolutely obliterate them, which they did. They got it done by 10 goals. So another one correct, still yet to get a tip incorrect. Then we head over to the game of the round. It was the D's taking on the Blues, live streaming, the Freo game, which was on at the same time. It was 3/4 time in the Freo game. I switched over to the D's and the Blues game. The Blues seemed like they had it in the bag, and it's not really like for Carlton to choke. They don't, when they're up by like that much in those sort of games, they don't really choke. They usually hang on, like we saw it at the start of the year when they first put Adelaide at the G. They held on to that, and a few other games during the year as well where they held on to and not being able to choke it. But the D's came from absolutely nowhere. They got the inside 50, and bloody hell, Cozzy Pickett slips over and just gets it over the line. I thought it could have been touched on the line. As he did slip on the kick, I thought, geez, I don't know if he has enough on this, but he well and truly did, and he went and sent the Melbourne Demons onto a 5-point victory at the MCG. Did tip the D's to get this win as well. I tipped them by 27 points, obviously a bit off with the margin, but luckily for Cozzy Pickett, he's able to save my tip for this game. Now I tipped the Dockers to get up by 68 points against the Eagles. Really, once again, inaccuracy costing the Freo Dockers, kicking 9-17 and only getting it done by 24 points. The scoreline, 71-47 in a scrappy wet weather game of footy. I'll be taking as the Dockers fan, as a Dockers POV. We are usually pretty poor in the wet, so kicking 71 and defeating the Eagles by 24, I'll be able to, take that. Then the Sunday games, this is where sort of it all goes wrong. I tipped, obviously, Richmond to get up over the Hawks. I tipped Richmond to get it done by 20 points in a bit of a boring game. They got it done by 61 points, and the Hawks, they got absolutely embarrassed. Their pants got pulled down at the G on the Sunday arvo, with Lynch kicking 8 on them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was still 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Lynch had 8 goals. So for a Tigers POV, you're going to be happy with that, looking onto the final series. And well, for a Hawks POV, you just look onto next week and hope to finish off the season strong. And then the next 2 games are the games that I did get incorrect. I tipped the Pies to get over the Swans at the SCG in a thriller of 4 points the margin. The Swans were able to prevail in a comfortable cruisy sailing win home by 27 points, which was just really not what I wanted. I guess it was alright in terms of Freo, but the Swans also pushed us down, but Collingwood are also sort of fighting for that top 4. So a few teams muddled up in sort of the same area at the moment in the top 4, in the top 8. And the last game of the round, it was the Dons taking on Port Adelaide, and this was just absolutely embarrassing. Didn't watch a second of this game, and Port got it done by 84 points. I tipped the Bombers to get up by 18 points. So, well, yeah, that is just, it's just embarrassing. Coming in as favourites at your home venue, and you perform like that and drop it by 84 points, coming in as favourites as well. Port Adelaide accuracy was absolutely on point, 23 goals, 8, and that is just a positive sign to finish off the year for the Power fans. So 7 out of 9 for my round 22 tips. Now we are going to be moving on to round 23, last round of the year. Let's get into it. We have the Lions taking on the D's for the opener. Friday night, Gabba, 7:50 p.m. The Brizzy Lions are the favourite to win it at their home deck. We saw Melbourne absolutely embarrass them earlier in the year at the MCG, and that was on Thursday night, and just everything was sort of in Melbourne's favour on that game. At the MCG, Brizzy can't really play there. And roles reversed now. At the Gabba, I feel like this could be a real ripper of a game. I reckon the Lions should get it done at their home venue. I just don't really see Melbourne showing up for the occasion. Considering their last 5 on record as well, they are scheduled for a loss to the D's. 3rd v 4th coming into the last round. This is huge. So the Lions win, they finish above the D's, and the D's win, well, they should certainly finish in the top 4, but whether or not it's 2nd, 3rd or 4th is yet to be confirmed. I reckon I'll be going with the Lions only because of the home ground advantage. I'm going to back in the Lions to get it done by 32 points at their home venue. I reckon the venue changes a lot. At their home deck, they should be able to just cruise past the D's. I reckon the D's, well, they should be on. Everyone should be on now. Whoever has a chance of finals, they all should be on heading into, obviously, the end of the year. They need to be switched on for finals. However, I'm going to tip the Brizzy Lions to get it done, and once again, we sort of saw it last year, how the D's had a bit of a slump in form towards the end of the year. They've sort of had it this year as well, so get back in the Lions to get it done by 32 at their home ground. Moving on to the Saturday games, we've got the GWS Giants taking on the Dockers. The Giants sitting 16th with just a horrible record this year, and the Dockers sitting 6th and fighting for a top 4 placement. Now, I don't really want the Dockers to finish 4th, because then we have to face the Cats in a qualifying final at the MCG, which is going to be a bloody difficult task. However, obviously, being a Freo fan, can't go past the Dockers. We've won 2 on the trot. We just beat the Eagles and we beat the Dogs, and I reckon we should be able to beat the Giants. I'm going to say the Dockers get it done by 25 points, hoping for a good win. Just a good win for positive signs heading into final series. That's all I want. 2:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium, we've got the Kangaroos taking on the Gold Coast Suns. The Suns coming in as favourites, even at North Melbourne's home ground. The Suns sitting 12th with 2 losses in a row, and the Kangaroos sitting 18th with 4 losses in a row. The last win for the Gold Coast Suns was recorded against the Eagles. The last win for the Kangaroos was recorded against the Tigers. And I just don't really see North Melbourne going out in style this year, so I'm going to have to back in the Suns to get it done. The Suns coming off an embarrassing game last week at home against the Cats. However, I reckon they should be able to bounce back. They don't play bad at Marvel as well. I reckon they know the surface pretty well, and the Kangaroos, well, it doesn't really matter where they play. They're pretty much going to get flogged every week. Going to back in the Suns to get it done by 12 points in, well, what seems to be a pretty close matchup, but the Suns they realistically just should win this game. Then moving on to the next game, we have the Cats taking on the West Coast Eagles at GMHBA Stadium, 4:35 p.m. Going to back in the Cats to get it done by 115 points. I love how I'm laughing at that, but the thing is that there really is no point in laughing at that. That is just really bloody sad. Now, obviously, we've seen the West Coast Eagles get obliterated a few times this season, over 100 points. And at GMHBA, look, the margin probably isn't going to be as much as I say it is, but you gotta just go these as a piss take, really. 115 points. I'd love to bloody see it. Anyway, the Cats obviously heavy favourites coming into this game, $15 to $1.02. So, yeah, the Cats get it done by 115 points. For mine, not really needing much explanation for that. Saturday night footy at the G, we've got the Bombers taking on the Tigers. The Tigers coming in as favourites, obviously, after last week's poor effort for the Bombers. The Bombers coming off 2 losses in a row, one against the Giants, which was embarrassing, and another embarrassing performance against the Power at their home deck. And the Tigers coming off 3 wins in a row after the draw against the Dockers. They've defeated the Lions, the Power, and also Hawthorn. Obviously, I'll be backing in the Tigers to get this done. I'm going to say 42 points, in which, well, you don't really expect the Bombers to have much of a chance in, but if they are able to get it done, then bloody fair play, credit to them. But I reckon Richmond should be able to get this done, and they still can't overtake Freo, so even if they do get the W, I won't be too fast. And last game on the Saturday, we've got the showdown to finish it off. Obviously, we had a ripper showdown earlier on in the year where Jordan Dawson kicked the match winner after the siren for the Crows. 7:30 PM at Adelaide Oval. The Power $1.35 to the Crows $3.20. But I feel like it was similar odds coming into the showdown last time earlier on in the year. And the Power, well, they've only won 1 out of their last 5 results, and Adelaide, they've won 3 on the trot. So I'm actually going to be leaning towards the Crows here. I'm going to tip the Crows to get it done by 7 points in, well, hopefully another thriller of a showdown. There has been some pretty thrilling showdowns in the past, so hopefully this one can not disappoint, and hopefully the Crows can get it done in a close margin of 7 points. Moving on to the Sunday games, we've got the Hawks taking on the Doggies, 1:10 PM in Tassie at UTAS. Dogs favourite to get it done, and well, they need it. They really need it to be making the final series, the Dogs. They did face the Hawks last year as well in the last round, and well, they were able to drop out of the top 4 somehow, the Dogs, after a really promising start, strong start to the year, and the Hawks were able to kick them out of the top 4 placement, which I generally feel like that could happen again. I feel like the Hawks could get over the line at UTAS. At UTAS, you know what, realistically the Dogs should win, as they've got finals on the line. Actually, because of that, I'll have to be backing in the Dogs. I reckon they've got finals on the line. They just really can't afford to drop this. You can tip the Dogs to get it done by 16 points, and just a must win for the Dogs if they need to make finals. Not really else much to say. Collingwood, Carlton, 3:20 PM. MCG, last game of the year for these sides. Obviously at the G, this is going to bring in a lot of bloody fans. $1.90 to $1.90. Odds are all tied up. 5th v 8th. The Blues coming off 3 losses in a row, and the Pies coming off only 1 loss in a row. And before that, I think it was 11 wins in a row, 12 wins in a row. So the Pies obviously in better form. The Blues need to win it to stay in the 8, and if they drop it, well, see you later. They are out of here if the Dogs are able to prevail. And the Pies obviously locked in for finals. It's just if they make the top 4 or not, if they get the second chance, or if they miss out on the second chance. The Pies, I reckon, should be able to bounce back after last week, and considering the slump of Carlton's form at the moment, this should be a thriller of a bloody match. Both teams fighting for important positions coming into the end of the year, coming into the finals. So going to back in the Pies to get it done. I reckon they are just the better team. They're the better team, and I reckon Carlton will definitely bring a big fight, but the Pies should be able to get up. Gonna say Collingwood get it done by 36 points. Yes, it's a big margin considering the close games that the Pies have been able to win this year. However, I feel like it's going to be a close game up until the last quarter, or maybe up until the 3rd quarter, where the Pies just run away and streak goal after goal. Should be a massive turnout at the G, and cannot wait to tune into this. In the last game of the season, home and away season, we have the Saints and the Swans at Marvel Stadium, 4:40 PM. The Swans will be confident. They are sitting 2nd on the table. And when was the last time they lost, the Swans? They've won 5 on the streak out of their last 5 games, but I feel like they've won more than 5 in a row. And the Saints, they're coming off 2 losses in a row, and before that 2 wins in a row. And, well, the Swans, just their favourites to get it done, really, at Marvel Stadium. I reckon they know the ground really well. And the Saints, well, they've just been really disappointing. They obviously need to get this win to have any chance of making the 8, but even if they do, I reckon it will be still difficult based off their percentage, very low percentage. Sydney sitting 2nd though. It's going to be hard to go past them, especially after a strong win against the Pies. Their confidence is going to be up. They've got a lot of fans to cheer them on down in Vic. Going to tip the Swans to get it done by 23 points in just a cruise sailing win, for the Swans. Hopefully we can see a ripper of a game this round, which I think we will in a few games, but I reckon the Swans just a better team over the Saints. They should be able to get it done. And there we have it, my round 23 tips and predictions for season 2022. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Some content should be coming out. Obviously, sorry for getting the tips out on Thursday. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, obviously leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you all in my next video.